Blessed to know the best at all times. Oh my God, it's your guy Rhett Butler, and this is that Pretty Left Hook, hitting you in your goddamn liver. I know you missed me, but baby, I'm back. And boxing and MMA is hella crazy as usual, so you know I got all the tea. First and foremost, I want to shout out to Ukraine. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow. Yo, Wiz Khalifa, you might have to change that whole black and yellow situation. Why? Because Russia attacked the Ukraine, and literally every boxer went home from the Ukraine, went back to the Ukraine, put down the gloves, and picked up the gun. Yo, they not playing at all. They put down the gloves and picked up the goddamn gun, and they put on some fatigues while they was at it. I'm talking about everybody from the newly minted heavyweight champion of Alexander Usyk, the guy who just beat Anthony Joshua and got all his belts, the guy who's only needs to now really fight Tyson Fury to get the rest of the damn belts, if he can do that. Two former heavyweight champions in Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko. These guys, Vitaly's already the mayor of Kiev, Ukraine. His brother Vladimir and him, where's the gun? Where's the gun? And they put on the fatigues to match as well. Yo, it's not a game. Even goddamn Vasily Lomachenko, the Matrix. Man, forget these damn gloves. Where the gun? Yo, it's crazy right now. So I want to shout out to everybody in the Ukraine. I don't like how y'all doing, what I'm seeing over there with the black folks not getting on the trains and y'all not letting people leave and all that. I don't like all of that. But when it comes to protecting your country, when it comes to making sure nobody gonna take you out of your homeland, Ukrainians about all the smoke. Better ask somebody. Big respect to y'all. I want to go into what happened last weekend. Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington, UFC 272 main event. Shout out to those guys. Chaos defeated Masvidal. Chaos's gas tank looked a little bit more hefty than Jorge Masvidal, but more than that, Drake, Aubrey Graham himself, lost $275,000 betting on Jorge Masvidal. Kiki, can you pay me back? No, Jorge Masvidal's not giving you $275,000 back. But what he did say, Drake, next time you're in Miami, dinner's on him. But Drake, I'm going to need you to do me one thing. If you're going to bet on MMA, I'm going to need you to understand the game a little bit better, my G. Colby Covington is a whole American, all-American wrestler. If you know the game, you knew that Masvidal was at a disadvantage because he's primarily what? A striker. He's not known for a heavy wrestling game. He's not known for a heavy jiu-jitsu game. But you still thought, Drake, that he was going to get vanquished at the tune of over $250,000. Cuz you need to watch more sports. When it came to the Super Bowl, his bets was on point. When it came to all of that, his bets was on point. When it comes to the MMA game, the combat sports situation, yeah, nah. He wasn't about that action. But Colby Covington, now unfortunately that he won, we're going to have to watch this guy talk trash forever. He called Masvidal a journeyman. We're going to have to hear that forever. He talked crazy about Kamaru Usman. We're going to have to hear this forever. He already started calling out Dustin Poirier. Colby, can you just enjoy the one win? I mean, you and George, used to be roommates. You used to be teammates at American Top Team. Yeah, I'm doing the Star Trek joint. But now, you guys are mortal enemies when you both love Donald Trump. I don't understand. Y'all got so much in common. We got something in common. Yeah, I'm old, and I know all about these kind of R&B songs. At the end of the day, chaos is here to stay. Better or for worse, the guy won. He talks crazy. He's going to remind George of this every day of his life, I'm sure. And you know how it works in the fight business. The more polarizing, the better. Colby Covington fit right into the pocket. He ain't going nowhere. Now I want to go talk about something a little disheartening. Anybody familiar with the UFC heavyweight ranks knows Cain Velasquez, the guy that has brown pride tattooed on his chest. Cain Velasquez is now locked up in Santa Clara County Jail. He's from the Bay Area, San Jose. You know, this guy is a former Arizona Sun Devils wrestler, former UFC heavyweight champ, as we stated, member of the member of AKA American Kickboxing Academy up in San Jose with Javier Mendez and all that. But Cain Velasquez recently was caught after driving around, busting shots at somebody through a vehicle, and ultimately hitting somebody that was not the intended target, but was with the intended target. Cain Velasquez was trying to protect his family, y'all. It's kind of a crazy, polarizing situation. But to make a long story short, at a daycare, one of the administrators abused one of Cain Velasquez's young relatives. So, of course, this guy Cain, livid, and he went to go see that person. And when he came with the heatery, and he let the guy know he wasn't about no games. It's a polarizing scenario. You know, Cain has received so much support from the mixed martial arts business based on that decision. UFC color commentator Joe Rogan said, "I wish he would have killed him with his bare hands." Former UFC champion Ronda Rousey said, "If it was me, it would have been worse." Other fighters have come to his defense. Other fighters have been there at the court dates. No, Cain didn't get bail. No, the support isn't swaying the judge outrightly thus far. But the streets are talking, Cain. We rolling with you, Cain. You got to protect your family at all times. That man protected his family. It was rough justice. Listen, I cannot condone anybody shooting a gun at somebody and possibly missing and hitting somebody else. That is not something I can condone. And that is unfortunately what Cain Velasquez did. But I understand. You know, you're not going to think rational when something like that happens to you. And Cain threw all the rationality out the window and said, "Oh, no, 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 no." And handled what he had to handle. So it was kind of crazy. But Cain, I think you might be in the most polarizing experience ever had by a mixed martial arts fighter. We watching. We care about you. We care to see what happens, and we will be watching after all, because this is insanity what's going on for that man, and we wish him the best with everything. I want to talk about in boxing, Jermell Charlo, the hitman. Whew. This guy's one half of the fighting Charlo twins out of Texas. And Jermell recently caught wind of something that Terence Crawford said. So Terence Crawford, for those who don't know, he currently is the, I believe, WBO welterweight champion in boxing. Everybody wants to see him fight Errol Spence. Unfortunately for Terence, his marquee value diminishes the purse that he would receive because his marquee value is dwarfed potentially by Errol Spence. Now, Tim Smith, VP of Communications for Premier Boxing Champions, said, "I don't want to disrespect I don't want to disrespect Terence Crawford by hitting him with a low number for his services to, fight Errol. But we don't see this working. How can we justify the pay-per-view? How can we justify the budget? We don't think Terence is going to sell." Ironically, Errol, we know, will. Errol has sold out Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium out in Arlington, Texas. You gotta forgive me, I'm tongue-tied right now. But Terence Crawford does not sell well outside of his native Omaha, Nebraska, and Errol ain't going there. So, because of that, there's been no offer made because, in the words of Tim Smith, we don't want to disrespect the guy. So now Errol is fighting Yordenis Ugas next. Ugas, if you remember, just defeated Manny Pacquiao and retired him. So that puts him on another level, and he got a belt, right? So now Spence versus Ugas. If Spence is successful, the Terence Crawford fight might happen, but Terence Crawford doesn't believe it's going to ever happen. So Terence Crawford said in an interview recently, "You know what? I don't know if that's going to happen. But if it doesn't, I might look at the winner of Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano." Yeah, he said that. Of course, Jermell Charlo heard him, and he loves all the smoke. So, of course, what he said was, "Boy, you better look at your own division before you get knocked out." Yeah, he said that straight like that. He was talking hella greasy as well, inclusive of saying to Crawford, which I'm not even mad at, Be the challenger for once. Be the challenger for once. It's not a problem if you're the challenger. You don't have to be the A side, be the B side. For those who don't understand, being the A side in boxing means you are the marquee of the ship, right? You're the Floyd. You're the guy that's selling all the tickets, all the pay-per-view. The other guy is the guy challenging you. So what Jermell Charlo's essence is saying is lose the ego, let Errol be the big homie in the fight. And if you win, you just came up through some adversity and took down the giant, the boogeyman of the division in Errol Spence. So I have to say I got to give a lot of props to Charlo for saying this, right? He said he would do it. And I think he would because he likes to fight that much. Will Terence Crawford consider his career in that way if the fight is offered and take lesser money? I don't know. But I know that that's a fight that will define the times. And with the welterweight division still being the moneyweight division based on Floyd having left it and made it the most money in that division, this fight has epic proportions. So look for that on the horizon. In terms of Jermell and Brian Castano, and maybe Terence Crawford gets tapped in for that, or maybe Terence gets tapped in for the winner of Spence versus Ugas. I don't know. But what I do know, all of them fights is good money to me. Get it cracking. Stop playing games. Last but not least, Gervonta Tank Davis is finally going to fight Rolly Romero. Yes! Why am I so happy, you saying? Yo, Rolly's talks mad shit. Like it's so good, it's bad, actually. It's so bad, it's good. However you want to look at it, right? But that's Rolly's. And the last time when they were supposed to fight, Rolly's caught a sexual assault allegation that precluded him from being able to fight. So then they tapped in a guy named Isaac Cruz. A lot of people didn't know about Isaac Cruz. But guess what? We found out about Isaac Cruz because when he fought Tank finally in Crypto.com Arena, and I think that was the first fight in the newly christened Crypto.com Arena, formerly Staples Center, Isaac Cruz showed the hell up. Yo, the kid gave Gervonta the business, right? Now, Gervonta ultimately won the fight, but to say that that kid was a slouch, hell nah. The kid came through and handled business, and I don't think Gervonta recognized that this guy came to play. Now, Rolly's is doing his goddamn thing with the get back. He got past the case. Now he's looking straight down the pipe and saying, Gervonta, I'm going to come get you. Now he's been hella disrespectful. He done called Gervonta a dwarf. He said he got a big ass head. I mean, he done said it all. This fight is epic, and both of these guys are in the Mayweather Promotions camp. So it's an easy fight to make. What do we have to look forward to? An all-out war. Gervonta don't like the things Rolly's been saying, so he's been waiting for this moment. Rolly's feels like this is his jump-off point, and it is. If he defeats Gervonta Tank Davis, that is epic for his career, and he knows that. So, boxing world, we got one coming. Also, don't forget, Dmitry Bivol is going to fight Canelo Alvarez this year. Dmitry Bivol's Ukrainian as well. I don't know if he's over there, but he's definitely paying attention. But again, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. That's the new wave. Yo, my name is Rhett Butler. This is the Pretty Left Hook. You know what it is because you just been hitting your goddamn liver. Ha! Got him. Yo, peace.